I guess I'll start with just saying one word. Wow.
In the US, if you're arrested for a crime, you're typically taken to jail. From there, you can either pay bail or be held in jail until your court date. It's meant to be a financial incentive to get people to return for their court date, making sure that they don't just escape. But in the real world, bail disproportionately punishes poor people and people of color. Because look at it this way, if you're poor and can't afford a $100 bail, you're spending time in jail even if you're innocent. But if you're wealthy or even middle class, $100 is probably a small price to pay for your freedom.
Well, everything you just said is one great big steaming pile of bullshit. Do you just make shit up in your own mind so you can get on here and tell people what you think? None of it is factual at all. And I'll explain it to you a little later, after we hear more of your bullshit.
In fact, many poor people just plead guilty or accept deals they otherwise wouldn't simply because they want to get out of jail quickly. And if they do stay in jail because they can't pay bail and won't plead guilty, it can have disastrous consequences for them, like making them unable to pay rent, which could mean they lose their home, or making them unable to see their children or pay child support, meaning they could lose custody of their kids. They could miss work, which would get them fired and result in even more financial struggles. People can even die because they can't pay bail. Just look at the cases of Sandra Bland, Jeffrey Pendleton, or Khalif Browder, who all died in jail after they couldn't pay bail. It's just a system that harshly punishes poor people just for being poor, but lets rich people walk free.
I think that Joker fella was right. You are so full of shit. Riley, I guess you don't realize there's a little release program called OR, Own Recognizance. Most people that are poor, and as you say, of color, are released that way if it's not a major crime. And it doesn't cost them anything, except the fact that they need to come back at their prearranged court date. If they do not, a bench warrant will be filed against them. They will be rearrested and not be able to use the OR release program again.
And it disproportionately targets people of color because they're more likely to be arrested in the first place. For example, despite using drugs at about the same rate as white people, black people are 3 to 4 times more likely to be arrested for drug use.
Wrong again. FBI data states. Next time, maybe you could just back your smack with a little facts.
The end result of all of this is that pre-trial jail time can be devastating for poor people and people of color. It's incredibly destabilizing for communities when people have to spend days or weeks or months in jail because they can't afford their freedom. And that shouldn't even be a thing. People shouldn't have to afford their freedom. These are people who are not convicted of any crime. Being arrested doesn't automatically mean that you're guilty. People are arrested all the time who are never convicted of anything. Pre-trial jail time means they haven't had a trial yet, but they're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So why are we holding them in jails when they very well could be innocent? This probably won't come as a shock to you if you're familiar with the shitty effects of capitalism, but the answer is largely for-profit bail bond companies. These companies post bail on your behalf if you pay them a non-refundable percentage of the bail up front, and then make monthly payments with fees and interest, of course. These companies pay $14 billion in bail bonds every year, which means that innocent poor people are forking over tons of money to these companies just to be able to be free.
As you can tell, he's just going to keep throwing out bullshit rhetoric. His opinions, bloated and made up numbers in his own mind, and try to convince you about all this bad stuff that's going on. But I do have one question to ask you, Mr. Riley. Do you not make money off of YouTube? Isn't that the result of shitty capitalism as you speak of? I think you're a damn hypocrite. You benefit from the shitty capitalism you speak of. And if you don't like our shitty way and the results of our shitty-ass capitalism, why don't you just move over there to England with your so-called girlfriend, and I'll be the first one to wish you bye-bye.
Be free. So obviously this massive industry has a huge incentive for things not to change. But the money bail system is hugely unjust and can't be allowed to continue. So what's the alternative then? Well, several lawmakers and the ACLU have backed a risk assessment system to replace money bail. These systems vary in their specifics, but they generally involve a way of determining how dangerous someone is and how likely they are not to return for a court hearing. And they then assign various levels of release. The person could then have to wear an ankle bracelet, show up regularly for check-ins, or not be released at all. In rare cases, these systems even have a minor money bail.
Holy frioles. Dude looks like a dude and has chronic diarrhea of the mouth. I don't know about you, but my head's hurting now. That's where I'm going to end this one. I just can't take it no more. I'm going to have to get duct tape so my head don't explode. Anyway, thanks for watching. You know I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this. Please like, comment, and don't forget to hit that big old subscribe button. Sure will help me out. Do me a favor if you would. Please tell your friends. I'd appreciate it. Hope you had a great day. And as always, bye-bye.